everyone, welcome to the biology session. Hope all of you are doing great. Today we will learn something very interesting. But before I start, I want to show you some pictures and let me see how many of you can guess what we will learn today. So let's start. The pictures are going to come on the screen. How many of you know about this machine or this typical arrangement of the letters? Well, I will say you are lucky if you have not seen the machine as well as the chart. The machine on the right side is an eye testing machine mainly used by ophthalmologists, and the letter chart on the left side is known as the Snellen chart. Both of these are used to check your eyesight. In this chapter, we are going to know about a crucial organ of ours without which we all could have been in the dark. We all know we have 5 sense organs like eyes, nose, ears, tongue and the skin to understand, realize and to enjoy this beautiful world. The eye is one of the most sensitive or delicate sense organs. It is an organ of the visual system. It enables animals to see. It helps us to see and explore the beauty around us. Eyes are specialized to capture visual images and rely them to brain. To understand function of the eye in detail, we need to know the structure of the eye. Do you know the function of our eye is just like the camera we use to click pictures? The camera and the eye work in a similar way. They both capture the object and create a visual image of it. Both can control the light and have lenses to focus on a particular object. We can infer that the design of the camera is inspired by the structure of the eye. Let's see what are the different parts of the eye. The different parts of the eye are pupil, iris, cornea, lens, sclera, macula, the optic disc, optic nerve and retina. Let's know about it in detail. The clear window at the front of the eye that covers the iris, the pupil and the anterior chamber is called cornea. The cornea provides optical power to the eyes. The cornea refracts light and helps the eyes to focus on objects that are present in the line of sight. What happens when someone puts light on your face in the darkness? You just close your eyes immediately, right? But why does this happen? It happens due to reflex action. And which part of the eye gives this reaction? It is iris. It is the colored portion of the eye or a pigmented muscular curtain which is present between the cornea and the lens. It is made up of stroma, basically a fibrovascular tissue. Stroma is connected to the 2 types of sphincter muscles. They are known as sphincter pupillae and dilator pupillae. Sphincter pupillae constricts the pupil in bright light. Dilator pupillae dilates the pupil in low light. The function of the iris is to control the amount of light that reaches the sensory tissue of the retina. Do you know an interesting fact? The color of the eye is determined by the amount of pigment contained in the iris. The eye appears blue when the little pigment is present. With increased pigment, the shade becomes deep brown to black. The pigment that is present in the iris is called melanocyte. Click, click, say cheese. Do you know light plays an important role in clicking pictures? Then who controls the light in the camera? It is a small device called shutter. Similarly, the part of the eye which controls the entrance of the light is called pupil. It is a black circle that is present in the center of the iris. Do you know why the pupil appears black? The pupil appears black as the tissues present in it absorb most of the light that passes through it. Let's talk about next part. What is that? That is retina. Our retina and the brain are intricately connected. The images that we see get converted into signals and reach the brain. The retina contains millions of light-sensitive cells. These light-sensitive cells are called rods and cones. The world around us is so colorful with thousands of colors and numerous beauty. It's a perfect place to stay. Do you know what enables us to enjoy the variety of colors? Those are cone cells. Cone cells are capable of detecting the wide spectrum of light photons and enable us to see the colors around us. Cones are active at higher light levels, and the vision provided by them is called photopic vision. Another type of photoreceptor cell that is present in the retina is called the rod cell. They are sensitive to light levels and give us good vision in low light. This type of vision is called scotopic vision. Would you like to know in detail about the function of retina? Let's see then. The light enters the eye through cornea, pupil, lens, and projects onto the retina. Retina receives and organizes the lights and visual information. Retina creates associated images onto it and converts them into signals. It sends those signals to the brain along the optic nerve. The brain receives those signals and interprets what we are seeing. You would be surprised to know that because of the complex network of blood vessels in the retina, every eye has a unique pattern. Even identical twins' retinas are different, just like our fingerprints. Amazing information, isn't it? Now, it's time to know about sclera. Okay, let's know about sclera. The sclera is the white part of the eyeball that we can see from the outside. Sclera is fibrous and contains collagen. It protects the internal parts of the eye and also helps to keep the shape of the eye. Have you ever felt dry or itchy eyes? It often happens when the eyes lose moisture. Which part of the eyes control the moisture? It is called conjunctiva. It is a clear membrane that covers the white portion of the eye, or the sclera, and the inside of the eyelids. Apart from that, it produces mucus and tears to keep eyes moist and keeps microbes out of your eyes. You might have heard about conjunctivitis or pink eyes. It can be caused by bacterial or viral infection. It causes redness, itching, and tearing of eyes. I am sure you all might have experienced that your grandparents' vision is much weaker than yours. Do you know why it happens? It is because of the degeneration of the macula. But what is the macula? The macula is the part of the eyes that is present close to the center of the retina. It processes our central vision. It also helps to see any object in great detail. It has a very high concentration of photoreceptor cells, the cells that detect light. With age, macula starts to degenerate, which causes blurry vision or loss of vision in old people. Next, we will know about vitreous humor. It is a gelatinous fluid that is present between the lens and the retina. It keeps the eyes moist, removes the debris, and protects the eye from any kind of infection. Do you know what aqueous humor is? It is transparent and slightly alkaline liquid that is present between the iris and the lens. The aqueous humor resembles blood plasma in composition but contains less protein and glucose and more lactic acid and ascorbic acid. It provides nutrients as well as oxygen to eye tissues that lack a direct blood supply and also removes their waste products. Have you ever noticed that if you keep a book very close to your eyes, you are unable to read? And even if you keep it very far away from your eyesight, it is also difficult to read. Why do you think it is so? It's because our eye has a particular focal length. And the part of the eye which controls the focal distance is called lens. You may wonder, what is a focal length? Not to worry, we will discuss it later in this chapter. As of now, let's know about the lens. A lens is a transparent structure in the eye that can curve both inward and outward and also works with the cornea to refract light. As it can curve both inward and outward, it is called a biconcave. The lens is held in place by a fibrous membrane called zonule of Zinn. Let's understand what exactly lens does. The lens changes the focal distance of the eye by changing its shape. In other words, it focuses on the light rays that pass through it to create clear images of objects that are positioned at various distances. Do you remember we have mentioned the optic nerve while discussing retina's function? Let's talk about that. What is optic nerve? The nerve carries electrical impulses from the rods and cones in the retina to the visual cortex in your brain is called optic nerve. Without the optic nerve, the sense of sight will not be produced. We all know that few people donate their organs such as eyes. But doctors have yet to find a way to transplant only an eyeball. It's because the optic nerve that connects the eye to the brain is too sensitive to reconstruct successfully. Let me ask you something. If I say blind spot, what comes to the mind? Something with no picture or image, right? This word is also associated with the human eye. It is a point at which the optic nerve leaves the eye. It contains no rods and cones. So, an image formed at this point is not sent to the brain. Isn't it interesting? Obviously. Do you want to know why the cat's eyes are shining at night? Cat's eyes appears glowing at night because they have a mirror layer in the back of their eyes that reflects light back into the eye. With this interesting fact, I'm signing off. We will meet soon in next video with more about our eyes. Till the time, goodbye, take care, stay tuned to RankPedia.